Welcome in, my dolls and figurines. I'm DARKBARBiEDiFFERENT, and today I wanted to show you my 15-year-long Tamagotchi collection. What better way to do it than when I just got back from the USA Tama tour, because I got some new devices, so I want to show the full collection and show you a little bit from the Tama tour. And I wanted to show the pros and cons, some things I like about each device, and show a little bit of gameplay from some of the devices. And I do have the boxes from almost every device, and I will also be showing how I store the devices. So let's take a Tama tour through my collection. Let's go. Since I just got back from the USA Tama tour at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I wanted to start with my newest Tamagotchis all the way to my oldest devices. I have been collecting since 2010 when the Tamago came out, and have played since the early 2000s. I think that my first device was a Connection. I will try to place it somewhere on the screen or link it down below what my first device that I remember having was. I also remember having those little fake virtual pets, and I will try to talk about other virtual pets maybe at the end of this video, but stay tuned and click through if you'd like to skip the Tama tour or any of the devices. I will try to put stamps below. Otherwise, let's go and check out the Tama tour.
Okay. Really? So you had some today?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not.
What does connecting it do? What does this machine do for you? Okay. Oh, okay, cool, gotcha. Cool. I mean, we're just gonna get the class on because it's cool. I grew up with it, so. Yeah. I don't know what this is, yeah, so. That's fine. She was like, we're so loud now, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I won't miss it. Yeah, I did.
Classic, yeah.
So I keep the Tamagotchis in this drawer system, and this isn't all of them together, so I'm gonna have to rethink the drawer, but it works, and it keeps them protected from sun or dust, from yellowing. Well, I really only have one that is yellowed, and it's the Tamago, and currently that's my oldest device. Well, and the Smart, because the Smart honestly does that, and not a super fan of that. But yeah, this is how I store my devices, how I have stored my devices for a while now, and it works out well. Again, I'm gonna have to clean out the drawer because this is missing quite a few, and these two devices, this one and this one, my boyfriend actually uses. And let's get into each device. I just wanted to show kind of how I have kept them, and I keep the boxes in a different place. I would love to display them someday. I'm just kind of scared of them all deteriorating or yellowing or something. So, since we just got back from the Tama tour, I was dressed for a Tamagotchi Paradise. In my opinion, I decided to wear a fishnet as well as like some swim attire and swimmy kind of shorts. And I wore my Tamagotchis, as many as I could. And I also had my purse. I have no words really, but you know. Paradise was already in there. I did not buy another Paradise today because I ordered mine from Japan and I wanted to give people the opportunity to get their own because I know a lot of people didn't pre-order. I, for one, didn't. That's why I ordered mine from Japan. And yeah, I put on there as many Tamagotchi related items as I could. So I loved that. And we will be talking about the Tamagotchi Paradise soon, but I wanted to start with the things I got at the Tama tour, and they gave you this bag, which is absolutely amazing, and I kind of want to make a shadow box with the pictures we took, and let's see what I got. For one, they were walking around, like, handing these out, and that's super cute with all of the main characters that you can get on the Paradise. So there was that one, which is the Sky pet that you can get, and this one, which is the land pet, and then the sea pet. I do not know their names yet, I'm sorry. And then there was also some gacha coin machines, and those are my first ever time doing it. And we got these two hair clips, which aren't focusing very well, but are absolutely amazing. This one is actually the Angel, not the specific device, but amazing. And then this one is the poop emoji, and I love how it's pixelated. And then in there, it actually shows you, if I can open it, which ones you can get pretty much. And so I only got two. So they had, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 different machines you could do. So I did this one twice, and these are all the different hair clips you could have gotten. And then I also got a comb, which is super cool, and this one was more expensive, but I really liked the idea of it and the design, and I thought, like, I would actually use these items. Like I said, I've never done gachas before, so I don't know how to open these specifically, but we'll get through it together. So, this will probably be a long video, guys, because I'm probably going to show each device, so be prepared for that, too. This is the comb. Amazing art and design, and I love it so much, and it actually works pretty good. I was using it in the car, checking it out. Really, really, really cute. I would maybe, like, seal this on here somehow, or just keep it inside something so that it doesn't wear off, because I'm that type of way. Those are the items that I actually got towards the end, and they aren't actual Tamagotchis, but they're Tamagotchi related. And then, first things that I mainly, like, got in line for were these devices, which were exclusive to the event. And that's my first time ever getting anything like that. Like, I've never been to an event like this, so that was really, really cool. And this is what the devices look like. So those are technically my newest Tamagotchis. I will try to show the box better. Super cool, Route 97 Tamagotchi, the original virtual reality pet. So this is a V1, just like I thought, and that's super cool. So that is what that looks like. Love so much. Here's a quick better video of what the actual device from the Tama tour looked like. I realized that my last clip didn't look that great, so here's that really quick. And then this one, which is the, I think it's the strawberry milk. I don't know. It doesn't actually say. I don't know where it says the design, but that was an exclusive. And then they also had the Graffiti Friends one. And then they didn't have the robot, anymore. I guess they might have ran out of that one or didn't bring it, but it was on the pictures. And then they had the 3 Paradise devices, which, like I said, we have all 3 in the house, so I didn't get any of those. I could have gotten the land because I have the ocean and the sky one, but my boyfriend Drew has the land one, so we didn't need to do that. But anyways, this is the connection that I got today. I'm probably not going to show another connection box when I show my other connections. So if you do need to see that, check that out. And like I said earlier, I think I'm going to be opening one of these at the end and playing it. So we'll see. Probably the connection, I'm thinking. This is really cool though. Really excited about those. So those are the devices that I actually got. And then I got nano blocks, and I actually don't know what they are yet, so we can figure out what they are maybe together. Yeah, this was more a video about devices, but I did want to show you guys what I got. Super exciting. This looks like the early Tamagotchis, and this, you get a blind character, so it'll be one of those. I kind of hope to get the pink one or Mamichi, but yeah, so I got those, and those weren't very expensive. They were like $14 and $6. So that's not very much. And then I got a hat because I've been wanting a new hat. And I didn't even look at it yet. And it's really, really cute. So that's perfect for me. And then you got some freebies. I spent enough. I don't know how much you had to spend, but I got this. Most people got cases, but I asked about the charm. I don't know if you can even see that, but just says Tamagotchi, and I love it. And then in my bag was the free, there's a Tamagotchi comic, which I considered ordering online because it was from Comic Book Store Day, and I didn't go get one, and it was the freebie, and it's super cute, and I'm super happy to have it, and it looked like they had a giant one of these there. So that's really, really cool that they gave that out. And they now have cosmetics, too, which they were selling there and were kind of cute. But I didn't, like, need to buy everything, you know. So anyways, there's more promotional, like, on there. If anybody wants to see that, I can show more of that. Please let me know in the comments. And also, if anybody wants to see any more of any of these devices, or if they'd like to see the instructions up close, like, anything, please comment. I am more than happy to talk about these and show them more. The only reason I haven't yet is because it's kind of like overwhelming because I have quite a few devices at this point and I don't like play them all together, and I kind of did want to show like some of the gameplay etc, but on the receipt there's also a Tamagotchi picture, which is freaking amazing. Love that. So that was super fun, and I wanted to show you guys that first, and now let's get into the Paradise. So first up, the most recent besides what I got today is the Tamagotchi Paradise, which I did order my 3 devices from Japan because the day of the Tamagotchi release, I couldn't get any, and I had already had my 2 because they released in Japan and I wanted them early. So I got the land and the sky for me and my partner to play together. And then I couldn't get any on the American release, so I ended up looking on the Japan, and I only had 8 of these devices left, so I got one, and I'm really glad because each device at the Mall of America today sold out. And anyways, I was gonna show my favorite things about the device, but it looks like he's sick. My cat's also food time is soon, so if you hear them freaking out, of course, call CPS. Right now, they are starving to death. You know, the drill, if you have cats. And this is the Tama I currently have on the Ocean, which is my newest device. One of my favorite things about the device is that you can have different fields. So basically, you unlock the land, the sky, and the water on each device. And right now, I currently don't have that because I just started this one a few days ago. And this one was actually glitching out when I first got it, and so I had to restart my whole world. And also, the battery became low when I was in line to do the Deca Tama, like the large Tama that you meet to do the downloads. Yep, my battery stopped working in line, but someone gave us these really cool 3D printed stars, and I don't know if you can tell, but they are sparkly, so that was cool. But each device is virtually the same. You'll just have a different world. So this one, oh, now my cat is gonna come say hi. But this one, I ended up naming Dollland. And your world can change, so I'm not very far right now, again, like I said. But you can also have different fields and go to each field. So this one is the land. And so they're on land. And the other one is on sea. And I wish I could show you the sky right now, because that one probably is my favorite, and I have the merry-go-round on mine. But you can also gene mix on this one, and you can unlock things as you go, which is probably my favorite thing about this device. And they connect in an old school way, and that's how you connected to the big Tama today. Again, my cat is right here, literally right next to me. Basically, these devices have this dial where you start at the world, and you spin in, and you can clean up after him, and go to the field and set their outside toys. You can also egg hunt each day, which gets you different food, which I do really like that feature. Here you will see the different worlds. I love the sky world. And then when your poop thing is full, you also get to travel, so that's a pretty cool feature. And again, like I said, my favorite feature is probably that you unlock things as you go, making you kind of want to play more. So that is the Tamagotchi Paradise. It just came out pretty recently. I think it is still the newest Tamagotchi. And there is apparently over 55,000 combinations that you can get just by gene mixing them and how you feed them and whatnot. I don't fully understand it yet. But on to the next device. The next devices in my collection are the Tamagotchi Uni. They are not newest second to the Paradise, I wouldn't say, but this one I think is one of the newer Tamagotchis that I did get. And then I started letting my partner play this one because I did get this one upon release of the Unis. And this one I ordered online, and I really wanted it because it was the Sanrio, and I absolutely love the Unis. I feel like there's a lot to them, and you can also change how they play with the Tamaverse tickets and stuff like that. Apparently, I can't show you guys it right now, but I do really like the different room aspects, how you can decorate the rooms and add your own items. Let's see if this one is on right now. Yep, they both just went to sleep, but they both have different rooms and different items, and then you kind of collect items. So when your Tamagotchi passes and you get a new one, you still have all the items and all the cash that you had before. So it's kind of cool to unlock items as you go. Also, this one still you can connect to online, so you can get updates and downloads and things for the Tamaverse. There's different events, and I haven't kept up with every single one, but I do have quite a few items on here, and you can delete them and also have a Tama like storage, which is kind of like a Poke Bank thing for Tamagotchis, to keep some of your extra items and whatnot. So I do really like these devices. They are Type-C rechargeable. I think they're going for quite a bit more than they initially were. I think they initially costed like 60 some dollars, and they are full color. There is a lot to them, but now they're going for quite a bit more. I think the Uni was a limited edition, I want to say, and now they also have an Angel, and they have a Monster, which I wish that I got those. And I think I want to say that's all for the Uni so far, but these are the only two in my collection. So far you've seen the two new ones, the three Paradises, so 5, 6, 7 Tamas. Technically, my boyfriend plays this one in the Paradise, so 5 of which are mine in use. Real quick, I did just want to show you can also have a babysitter on the Uni, and also on the Paradise you can have a babysitter as well, and I think maybe even a couple others. So I had them in the babysitter today. I know they were sleeping in my last clip. I was recording last night, and now it is the next day. So I just wanted to show a few features of the Uni that I really enjoy. So one is, this is the one my boyfriend's using, but I'm pretty sure I decorated the room because this was initially my Tamagotchi. But you can decorate the rooms. You can have 2 different items. They can also go into their different rooms, which I don't think I mentioned about the Pix device. But on the Pix, you can also go through different rooms and get a job. So I really like that about that device. Oh, it looks like someone's here. So there is a lot of surprise Tamagotchis. And also you can find like a pet. I think that might be a pet. And you can also go on a walk and find other Tamas. Oh, so this one is evolving. And I am playing as the Sanrio one. So not sure who they got. But I'm wearing a clown hat anyways. But yeah, there is a lot of fun on these. There's a lot of cute animations, kind of like the Smart. Like, there's so many different items and animations. But I did want to show... Oh, I clicked the wrong button, I think. But I did want to show you can go to the Tamaverse on here. And I don't know what all I have downloaded, but there is different Tamaverse tickets. So there is a Monster Carnival, there is Sanrio, there is Rainbow Friends, there is, like, okay, actually, those might be for the smart cards. But basically, they're the same. They have the similar idea for the Uni where you can download a Tamaverse, and it does basically what it does to the Smart. It adds features, but you can only use one at a time. So basically, the fun part about these is you can go to your Tamaverse. So right now, I can go to Sanrio, Piro Land. You can decorate them, and you can download different items. As far as right now, the website still works, so there's still items and whatnot to download. But eventually, I'm sure the website will stop working, but they have made a fan-made, player-made Tamagotchi On app. So I imagine that will happen with these, but as far as right now, I'm just trying to download everything I can. I did want to show you guys some of the items. Sorry, I'm getting totally off task here. But see, right now I have Sanrio, but there's so many different items you can get. Obviously, I don't have a ton on this device because I just got this device in the last year. When the Uni came out, I bought this one. And then I wanted the Sanrio. These were kind of expensive, but I wanted me and my partner to be able to play together. So I was just like, you know what? I will graciously give him the better one because even though this is cuter and it's Sanrio, this one has, like, all the items on it. Like, if you can't tell, there's just way more items from events and stuff because there's different events for, like, every holiday. So basically, these are a really good starter at right now, especially because they're kind of expensive to get right now because they are only available for resale right now. But there is a bunch of free downloadable content that comes out for it. You can buy Tamaverse tickets, which are, I think, $7.99 on the website. Like, they're really pretty cheap for what you get. It changes the entire Tamagotchi. So, honestly, highly recommend these. They're very, very cute. I don't think you get genes. You just get different types of Tamas based on, like, what food, what items, what Tamagotchis, like, you talk to. Like, I think where you go and what you do factors into it, too. But these are definitely up there for some of my favorites. I really, really like these devices, and these are the 2 Unis that I have. Again, not quite in order because I did buy them at different times, but Tamagotchi Uni. This is what it comes in the USA box for the regular Tamagotchi Uni. I do have the Sanrio box as well. This is just the one I grabbed. This is the pink color. This is what I was saying with the rooms. They can literally look like that, and you can also dress your Tamagotchi like fully, not in just one accessory, and it's really, really unique. And I do really like the Tama Universe Uni. I really like this device. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely one that I go back to and have played a lot of. See all those different fun items you can get, and there's a ton of different games and different Tamas to meet. It's not focusing, but I love the rooms. Next, I want to talk about the Flower Go Walk. It's not technically a Tamagotchi, but it is a Tamagotchi style device. Now, my batteries aren't working at this moment, but this one is a lot of fun. There is a lot of different stuff to unlock, a lot of different places, a lot of different flowers, and this is actually a pedometer type device, and it is a Murakami flower made by the artist Murakami. It's really, really cool. You do water, feed, and touch and play with your flower. You can go close-ups to its face. You can dress it a little bit and train it because you do meet other flowers along the way and battle them. And you eventually pollinate and your flower changes different pieces of itself. And it's honestly one of the coolest virtual pets I have ever seen. It was a lot of fun to come back to. The battery lasted a long time. You could travel to different places and you'd have to walk a certain amount of steps to go there. So I brought it to work a lot and I would put him to a place, put it in my pocket, and then I would walk and then I would check him on my break and be like, oh my gosh, he traveled to wherever. And then you would see the location, like a picture of the location, and you would get coins or you would meet flowers. Something would usually happen along the way. So this device I highly suggest. I don't actually remember where I got it. I got it online from a place that sells vinyl and music stuff when I was looking into this, where to buy it new in America. So I could maybe link it and I will let you guys know, but it was 100% worth it. There is a full color version that I would love to get. But for now, I just have this one, and I highly recommend this pet. I would like to show it more. If anyone would like to see this, comment down below. I love it, and I would like to play it more, too. I've ran it quite a few times until its batteries were done, and now I'd like to do it soon. But here's the box more. It pretty much looks the same on the screen. It's a nice little pixelated screen. But there is quite a bit to do, and yeah, a little bit different than a Tama, but definitely a virtual pet. So the next device is the Tamagotchi Angel, or the Gen 3. This is a recreate or a new version of the Angel, which I never had an original Angel. This device to me there's not a lot to it. As you can see, he passed away, and this is one of the rarer screens. I've never seen this screen, but it's kind of funny, so I kept it, and I wore it like that today with the Smart lanyard to the Tamagotchi event because I thought it was kind of funny. And I do think this device is really cute, and it's a simple one to take care of. Not a lot to it. There is just a bat you have to tap away, and this is its screen. I have not raised very many different Tamagotchis, so I don't really know much about this one. There's not much to do, but definitely worth having in my collection. It's one of the lower end price, Tamas, and it's just on the shelves. I think I got it at Target initially. I do think it's a cute device. Oh, one of my devices is going off, of course. I do think it's a cute one. I don't love it, wouldn't highly recommend it, but definitely had to try it, and I do love the look of it, and I need to play it more because again, I've only gotten a few different ones. But that is the Tamagotchi Angel, otherwise known as the Tamagotchi Gen 3 re-release. So I want to talk about the connection which I think was my first ever Tamagotchi device, and I showed that earlier in the beginning of the video, as well as showed this one that was the exclusive to the event. And again, for those who need to see it, here is the box. This Tamagotchi was so fun, and you could connect to people. I think you can get married, but there's not gene mixing. There is little passwords, there's a ton of games on it, and there is a ton of life stages. And these were kind of the original cutesy fun Tamagotchis that we know and love, like Mamichi. I don't remember a lot of their names. That little apple guy is cute. I always ended up getting him though. I swear, like every time as a kid. Super cute. You can give them little objects and they play with them, and their screens are black and white and pixelated, and you scroll through the menu kind of how you see there like in the original Tamas, but there was a lot more to do. Like, this is like a Tamagotchi that you can replay again and again. I highly suggest this one, especially as your first Tamagotchi. I gave this one to my partner as his first one so we could kind of play together to see if he'd really get into it. And now he's playing the Paradise and loves Tamagotchi and plays the Uni. So these ones are so fun to get into with a friend or a partner, or even just have two by yourself. I just got this one so that I could play together with this one. When the re-release came out, I had to get these. These ones I highly suggest, and each one has its own design, its own background. So this one's kind of like a 80s, 90s-y kind of graphic look. And this one is like the Rainbow and Friends. And this one is I think it's like strawberry milk tea or something it's called, but super cute. I'm super excited to play them. I love these. I love that you can connect and play with your friends. I love that there's so many different designs to collect, and I'm just so glad that they re-released these Tamagotchis. Now we have the Gen 2, which I bought at the same time as buying the re-release connection because I saw that there was a Gen 2 and it is a little bit different than the Gen 1. I don't quite remember what they added. I think the game is different. I think there might be a little bit different of Tamagotchis. So that's pretty cool. I do like both. They are very simple, fun. The original virtual reality pet from 1997 style vibes. I love the backgrounds on these. I love all the different designs. This one is the one that I picked. Just fell in love with this. Very springy. I love the see-through 90s tech. And yeah, I would suggest these to anyone who's never played. I would suggest these to fans of the Tamagotchi. If you're only into color, I probably wouldn't suggest these, but if you're an OG who loves where Tamagotchi came from, you need one of these. And I want to get more for the shells, but I'm not one of those people who has a bunch of these because of the shells, but I would, and I should, honestly. They don't keep them super in stock at the stores around me, but yeah, this is the one I have. This is the one I love. I also have a V1, and now I have the Road Trip V1. I don't know why I call them Vs, because clearly they're gens, but you'll catch me calling them V2, V1, etc. So, interchangeably, they mean the same thing to me. But that is my Gen 2 Tamagotchi. These ones, again, are just the, like, original, pretty simple. You just feed, take him to the bathroom, play a game, get him when he's sick. I think you can, like, clean him, too. I don't know why I always call all pets, like, dogs are always hims to me, by the way, and animals. So, if I do that, that's also by accident. I think they can have genders in this one. The Gen 2. Did kind of want to look at the backs together just to see kind of the difference. This is the, well, new Gen 1, and this is a Gen 2. Obviously, they're not actually in color, but yeah, those are the boxes of the two original re-release Tamas. This is a Tamagotchi Smart, and at this point I don't know if I'm going in order, but I think I'm pretty close of when I newest to oldest in my collection, and I don't actually remember each and every year, but I will try and say them. This is a pretty fairly last 5 years Tamagotchi, and this one is a Japanese Tamagotchi. It's not modded or anything, and I honestly do not super recommend this one. It has a touch screen where you have to click each four corner kind of vibe. This is fake. This gets dirty, and it has these smart cards, which this is the cool thing about it. So you can, if you really like these, you can put this card in and get these Tamas with these items. And this is the Nizu Friends, which I think is a K-pop band, but I just thought they were super cute, and I wanted them, so I got those. And this is the Sanrio one that came with it. So you do have to put these in and load them in. You can only have one at a time. The reason why I don't love this is because, yeah, you pay for them with real money, so I guess you should be able to unlock all the items since you paid. But I think it's more fun to actually have to play a game to purchase the items. Otherwise, it's kind of like pointless. And when you put this card in, all of the items are now free. You get them all. So it doesn't add much replayability. It's a pretty basic Tama, if you ask me, but it is kind of fun because I don't speak Japanese, so I do have to translate it or kind of remember how the buttons work. And so it's not just a quick click, not pay attention kind of Tama. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing if you don't speak Japanese. And I don't know, it's fun, it's cute. I'm glad I got it for my collection because it was the first Japanese Tamagotchi in my collection. And I do really appreciate the smart card aspect because I can still buy more and change basically how the Tamagotchi works. And it was the first watch style Tamagotchi, which I thought I had brought the watch band in here to show you guys, and I guess I did. It gets really dirty, and I've barely worn it. This is just it sitting in my drawer being worn like 3 times. It is really cute though if it wasn't yellowing. So yeah, that's kind of defeats the purpose of wearing it. But it did also come with this lanyard, which I got to wear today because I don't want anything to happen to this lanyard, so I don't really wear it out. But it has like all the Sanrio Tamas on it, and it's super, super cute. So the Sanrio Tamas are really cute. The Tamas you can get on it are cute. The items are really cute. So if you like the Tamagotchis just for seeing the cute animations and you love Sanrio and cute screens and stuff, I would highly suggest it. And if you love to collect Japanese Tamagotchis or unique kind of Tamagotchis, I would suggest it. But yeah, it's not my favorite because it's pretty boring after you've played it a couple times, but it is really, really cute. And my first Japanese Tama, and ode to them because they created the Tamagotchis. And I love that it was the first chargeable one. I love the idea behind it. And yeah, but could have done better with making these not get dirty and etc. But I love the direction this was going, and I feel like this was like maybe the precursor for the Uni, not sure. But it is a cool one. I would like to get more cards. They do just like lock in and you can only have one card at a time. And when you first get it, you're going to have to raise a Tama. And it's not going to be the Sanrio. Like you're going to have to put this in, raise the Tama, and then it'll be the Sanrio. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's the Sanrio Smart. This is also what the smart cards come in, so if you like to display things, it easily props back open and you can put it in there. I'm not currently displaying them because, as I said before, I don't really display my Tamagotchi stuff right now, but these are all the different Tamas you can then get. They're super cute on the Nizu, and these are the different foods and different items you'll get. And then there's different watch faces and different rooms, which I wish you could have different watch faces on the Uni. If anybody knows how, please comment. But this is the cool aspect about the Smart, is you can just plop in a thing and change your game completely. So that's the Nizoo. This one came with it, so I don't have one of these cases for it, but that is the cool thing about the Smart. I don't love the touchscreen, again, like I said, and it's pretty basic because you get all these for free once you put it in, but you do pay for these separate, so it's just a unique concept, and I do like the idea. It's kind of like the Pierce, which I don't have. Actually saw today for the first time ever on the Tamagotchi history wall of the Tama tour, but I would love to have the Pierce. But this reminds me of the idea of the Tamagotchi Pierce or piece. But yeah, that is the Tamagotchi Smart. So these two are not official Tamagotchis, but they are virtual pets, and they came out in America in the last few years. I saw and heard about them around Christmas time, and I love that they're pets that you can put away. They're pets that stay alive. The Bitsy has multiple pets within it, and you unlock different versions of the pet as you play with it and go along. This one, you put your finger in it and it wakes up, and you kind of evolve the pet as it goes. There's games, shopping. Haven't explored this one a lot, even though I've had it for a while, but I love that it's a little desk pet. It just has a foot that sits very, very nicely. And let's see if the batteries are working on that one. Yep, they are. So he's a very nice desk pet. And your finger goes in there and it has, I don't know if you can hear that, this little like traction ball that you can actually control. Looks like he's sleeping right now. But see, there's all these different options. And it's a pretty fun little pet. I haven't explored it a lot, but I like that he can stay alive and you can just kind of turn him on whenever you want to and play with him. Obviously, I need to change the date though, so he needs to be checked up on very soon. I don't know much about this pet. You can feed him and unlock different foods. I think you can cook for him, clean up after him, bathe him. There's toys and there's accessories. What is this? I think these are the different ones I've had. Oh, so the battery died, of course, but here's a box for the Poonie Ernies. You can unlock 55 different characters. And I've only played it a few times and had a few characters. I do need to explore this more. Again, I do love that you can just turn this on at any point and play with it. There's that. Warning for the Blitzy because it has like flashing, but I don't know if you'll even be able to see that on screen. Blitzy is pretty cool, and it has this like projection to do it, and has these little pets, and it has multiple pets. So I don't actually remember how to play this either. So there's feeding, hearts. So you fill their hearts and then they turn into different pets actually. This one's pretty fun as a desk pet because you get different pets and you can again flip it open or closed whenever you want. It's kind of weird to control though. You have to swipe it back and forth and it's kind of this fuzz material. Yes. So these are my different pets. I love the fish. Apparently I can't control it today. A dog. It's like beaver, squirrel thing. And some of them are raised up to the most they can be because he has like his little outfit. But yeah, there's different pets you can get and play with. And you can kind of like shake up their world or do different things to them. And they react differently. So that one's kind of fun. I would suggest it, honestly, because it's kind of one of those that you don't need to play it all the time, but you can. So he's hungry. Yeah, kind of does random stuff. Oh good, I don't have any food, so... Anyways, it's a fun little game, and it's in just toy aisles in America, and I do like it. It's not exactly Tamagotchi, but it is a virtual pet in my collection. Poonie Ernies I need to learn more about. I think they were a Japanese pet first, and I kind of wanted to get one, and then I heard they were coming here. I had to. They weren't very expensive either, so that's nice when they're cheaper. Color virtual pet that's a desk pet. So somewhere along the lines, I got these, which they've came out with a lot of minis now over the years. This one's dusty. I haven't played them in a while. There's not a lot you can do in them, but they usually are going to be like different characters. I know they've done some anime, One Piece, and different stuff. They've done Pac-Man. Now they've done Star Wars and Jurassic World. The Pac-Man one's kind of cute because you get to play this little Pac-Man kind of game. But there's not much to do on these. Like, it's literally just feeding, cleaning, and it's just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So they're not super fun. They're just kind of cute, little, nostalgic, very easy, low maintenance to take care of. Fun little game. Characters you know and love, like Sanrio and Pac-Man. So, honestly, if you want a cute, low maintenance, nostalgic reminder keychain toy pet that's more of a toy, I would highly suggest these. They're cheap. They're fun to get you back into Tamagotchis to see if you're even ready for the commitment of taking care of a virtual pet. And yeah, there's not a lot to them. Like, I've never put batteries back in them and replayed them again, but I am glad that I checked them out and did play them. These are the only two I have because I feel like they're all going to be virtually the same, just different characters. I did put a clip in the beginning of a video from the Tama tour that showed a video on the screen of the Peanuts one, the Snoopy one, which I kind of want because Mall of America, where we were, is now Nickelodeon Universe, but it used to be Camp Snoopy, and that actually is very, very nostalgic to me. And I, of course, grew up watching Snoopy in the 90s and thousands. I still have the Easter Charlie Brown VHS, and I really liked the Halloween one, of course. So sorry to go on a tangent, but these are kind of fun. I wouldn't suggest getting a ton of them, maybe just one of your favorite characters, especially, like I said, if you're not super into Tamagotchi and kind of on the fence, highly suggest these to see if you're ready. And if you're like, oh, that's kind of boring, then yeah, I mean, you're probably ready for another one. If you kind of like the idea of the virtual pet, but you're kind of bored of this one, yeah, I would say get more. They're a good starter. They're good for maybe a kid too, because they're very low maintenance, very little to do, very easy to control, and they're going to be characters that people know and love. And I feel like maybe that's even why they created them. People my age who are nostalgia now to have their kids play or something. But yeah, those are the minis that I have. And so far, if we're counting the Bitsy and all of the Tamagotchis, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 that I've shown so far in the collection. So technically 15 that I use because 2 of those my partner mainly uses and I got them kind of for him. And 12 of them are actual Tamagotchis, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, these didn't happen overnight. I've been collecting for quite some time now, and I take pride in this collection because I absolutely love actually playing them and using them. And next we have the Tamagotchi Pix, which I didn't love at first when I got it. I don't know why, I just didn't understand the point of it. I thought it was too weird, too different. There wasn't a ton to do at first, but as you go, you kind of unlock more. You discover kind of how you're supposed to do the colors. The buttons are these little like touch buttons, which is weird to press and get used to, and this is a click, which I actually kind of like because it is kind of like the Paradise where this is a click, which I kind of like using those features as a little extra, like instead of the middle button, you can click this sometimes. And I do kind of like the picture aspect because it's reminiscent of old 2000s cell phones, MySpace era, like come on. I have started to really like the pics and I keep coming back to replay it to see what colors I can find, what I can feed my Tamagotchi, because you can take pictures and feed your Tamagotchi. A lot of people just take pictures of colors because you can only do certain colors, but I like taking pictures of things around the world and seeing what it comes up with for me. This is a fun Tamagotchi. You can decorate with furniture in it, which is a really cool feature. It is full color. I highly suggest it. These are now going for a lot, and I think they were like 40 or 60 to begin with, and they were sold in stores in the USA. Now they're kind of expensive to get, and I kind of wish that I got a Pix Party because I don't have one to pair with, and I think the Pix is kind of fun. Like I said, at first I didn't quite get it. So if you're not feeling the Pix, I think maybe if you find a deal, check it out if you like Tamagotchis, because it does get more fun as time goes on. And I kind of like that. Like I said about the Paradise, that's kind of my favorite thing about the Paradise, is that you unlock stuff as you go on. So this is slowly becoming a favorite. I love the design of it. It kind of is reminiscent of the sky. I wonder if they thought about that, like, thought about their old Tamas, but I like the sky kind of vibe. I, Dusty, I was playing this one a few weeks ago, but yeah, they do get dusty so quick. That's why I keep them in those drawers. But yeah, I love the Pix. I've been playing it a lot recently. Before I got the Paradise, I was running this to replay it, and this one takes batteries, which is kind of nice because you can just pop batteries whenever. The one caveat is the screw goes into plastic, so I just don't use a screw. But yeah, that's the Pix. I really enjoy it. I highly suggest it. I think you can only get it resale now, and it is kind of expensive to get, but I bought all of the new era Tamagotchis as soon as they came out. So, like, since 2010, because they were very nostalgic for me. And so I kind of lurked the store the day they came out, or calling, and figuring out if I could get them. So this was one of those devices. And I'm pretty sure they were annoyed of me at Target when this and the On came out. They were like, it's not out yet. And I'm like, well, it's supposed to be. And eventually one of the guys was like, I've seen it. I've seen the display. And so he gave me one, and I think that was this one. Because the On, that same thing happened, but it was kind of different. But the On, we will be talking about soon. This one's quite newer, I think, still than the On, but very fun, full color, highly suggest. Really quickly, since it is in my collection, I haven't played it yet, obviously, but I want to talk about this Giga Pet, which I got at Hallmark. It was an anniversary re-release. I had these growing up, and I also had Password Puppies, which that kind of reminds me of, that screen. I don't know if anybody remembers Password Puppies. Please comment, because that was my shit. But I'm super excited to play this. I say that as I've had it sitting here for like a year, but I'm just intimidated because it's not a Tama. I don't know exactly how to play it because I don't think I played it right as a kid, because you tame your pet. And I feel like I just didn't probably do that. I don't fully remember these, but super excited nonetheless to own it. As you can see, it was $12.99, so it's kind of a lower end pet. They do have fairies and like dinosaurs and unicorns and dogs and different pets you can get from the Giga Pets. And I have always been intrigued by them and kind of can't wait to try it. There's also the CompuKitty, which I think is maybe different than this. Oh no, this is the Star Cat and the CompuKitty. So super cute pet. Excited to try it. Very nostalgic, teeny-weeny looking virtual pet toy. Yeah, I felt like it still needed a mention, even though I haven't tried it, because it is still in my collection. And I do want to try it. It looks so nostalgic in the box. I'm very old school. I just kind of kept it and haven't tried it yet, but hope to soon. The next device is the Gen 1 re-release, and it has the mermaid shell, which is the only Gen 1 I initially had before the road trip Tama. Again, I love how the insides are all kind of different on these. I have played this one quite a bit. I don't have batteries in it right now. I just wore it to the Tama tour. But these ones are the original Tamagotchi, just re-released with a bunch of different shells. They make different limited edition shells and stuff like that, but they are just your traditional 1997 virtual pet. If you're interested in Tamagotchi, it is a good place to start, but like I said, I still would go with the connection, probably, because They're just a lot more fun in my opinion, but these ones are just very simple, easy to raise. I oftentimes end up getting the same Tamagotchis because it's based on your care mistakes, and I end up taking care of them the same a lot apparently. But these are so fun. They are based off the original, so of course I have a soft spot in my heart for the original Tamagotchis. I'm pretty sure I did have one of these too. The Tamagotchi I just remember is the connection, that pink one. This is my Gen 1. I'm not going to show the box again. If you need to see the box, I did show it when I showed the Tamagotchi Road Trip Edition Gen 1, which was the Tama Tour USA specific one, but this one was just the Wave 1 release of the Tamagotchis. It does look a little faded, but honestly, I think it came kind of that way, like it's supposed to look like that. But yeah, super cute. Love the design. Very simple Tamagotchi that you kind of just raise, feed, clean up after. I think you can praise it or something. Kind of yells at you. I think there is one game, but it's a very simple virtual pet. You gotta think 1990s, but definitely a necessary one in the collection. Next, I want to talk about probably my favorite Tamagotchi, which is the Tamagotchi On, which came out in 2019. And when this came out, I was so hyped about it. I was waiting at Target every day the week of, like, they were annoyed of me, just like the story I told about the other one. I had asked people about it, and they were like, no, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it's supposed to be out. But I got one, and they eventually went on sale here for $35. And I wish I got a fairy too, because I only ever got this one, and now, if you know, you know, they go for a ton. And this is probably my favorite device ever. I did turn it on so I could show you guys, and I did make this. It's a little bit dingy now because I made it probably when it came out, which is already 6 years ago now, but this was my first color Tamagotchi, and I love that you can change the backgrounds of this. That's actually what I was going to show you. You can change to all these cute little backgrounds, so oh, I already had it on the paint, but this one's really cute. Yeah, so super cute, very different. The first time it came out, this was so unique because you could have generations basically and gene mixing. So the big thing was you can go to the different places on the Tama, which I will show, but if you can see, all my different Tamas look so unique, different colors, different types, and they have pieces of each other that they get when you have the baby. And that to me was so cool. I used to love the app, and I know there's a fan-made app, but I actually have not played it. I'm trying to get him to marry the magic, and I actually don't know if I have a male or a female Tama right now, but there's all these different places you can go, and you unlock them as you go. I'm actually still have yet to unlock one, and I've been playing since the day it came out here. Basically, you go to different places, and you can marry these Tamas if you gain a relationship with them. So basically, from the time that they pass being a baby, so a toddler or whatever the next life stage is, I'm just going to randomly bring an item to show you guys, but yeah, you get to go to this place and you can meet a Tama, and if you get a good enough relationship with them, you can eventually propose, and you will get traits of the character that you marry. So you can keep trying to get different Tamas, and it's so unique, and I honestly have probably played this one the most out of any of my Tamagotchis. I know now that the Uni debatably has more to it, more animations, whatever, but I love the style of the Tamagotchi On. I love that this one is the magical version, and it's very Halloween coded, very Halloween spooky amusement park. I have like the Thanksgiving or food kind of background going on right now. But there's also items you can get on here, and a lot of them are kind of seasonal based that you can collect. Otherwise, I have like the magical items. But yeah, I have never paired with another On. I would love to. I really need to try the fan-made app, so there is that too. If you have the money, honestly, yes, it's worth it. But right now they go anywhere from like $200 to like $500. So I'm really happy that I bought one upon release. Like I said, I wish I would have bought more because for some reason this is just like my favorite Tamagotchi. I just think I love the way it runs. I love that there's all these different places with these kind of unique Tamagotchis that you can meet and that you can marry the Tamagotchis at the different places. So then you kind of get to pick which direction your family is going to go if you keep raising them. I've had a lot pass away on this one, so if you look at my family tree, it's not really that exciting, but the app actually used to track your family tree, and so that was pretty cool. You could have a very large family tree, and I'm sure the fan-made app does the same thing. Oh, and by the way, sometimes it's their favorite item and there is a different animation sequence, kind of like the other Tamas, but like for the Tama that you meet. So that's pretty cool. There is just a lot to it, and for it being the first USA color Tamagotchi, I honestly think that they did the best job. It goes kind of slow now. If you're used to playing with others, it is a little bit slower, but you can like fast feed. Oh, he's not hungry, but you can basically click through the animations if you need to. And yeah, sorry I spent so much time with the On. I knew I would. It's just, it is my favorite Tamagotchi. It was my first Tamagotchi, I think, since 2013 when the Friends came out, because it was really the coolest one that came out since. I'm not really sure what came out in between them, and I did play those on and off throughout my time before 2019 when I got this. But when this came out, I was hooked. I was addicted, and yeah, I've played this one quite a bit. As you can tell, it's a little bit worn. I wish I got more. I would love to get another one. I know there's the meets, and I think they can connect, and I really would like to get a meet someday. But yeah, this is probably always going to be my tried and true favorite Tamagotchi. I'm going to show the box real quick. So when these released, there was a magic, which was purple, and a fairy, which was pink. And I honestly really wish I got the fairy, but I'm way more Halloween coded. But I wish I got both to begin with, because then I could have them meet and whatnot. And like I said, they're super rare to get a hold of, but when I saw this, I knew that I had to have the magic. And you can gene mix with that Tamagotchi, and it's so, so cool. Here's the side of the box. Family trees. And here's the back of the box. You can kind of see the different colors, different kind of genes. As you can tell, they kind of mixed here with different Tamas. And this is the fairy, which you cannot get those Tamas unless you have the fairy. So these were the exclusive Tamas to this one. That's why I wish that I had gotten both. And now there's a Wonder Garden, which that one I think goes for even more to collect. And that is like a grail Tama. I would love to have the Wonder Garden. And I also would love to have the anniversary meets. I don't know if they can meet up together. I think they can, even if they're American and Japanese, but I'm not 100% sure. But these are kind of some of the Tamagotchis you can get. There's like food ones, there's farm ones. This one almost looks like Kuromi, and I love that. But yeah, I love this one. I could talk about the On all day. I'll probably super run it in October for Halloween, and then I'll probably keep running it because there's even a Santa Gotchi. At least there was on the app. And so I'll probably get the fan made app so I can at least do a gene mix with my Santa Gotchi for the holidays. But yeah, what's your guys' favorite Tamagotchi? Please comment down below and why also. So, excuse the shadows on these devices. I had to turn another light on just so you guys could see the screen without extreme glare there. But this is the Tamagotchi Friends devices. Initially released in 2013 in the USA, they were at the time exclusive to Toys R Us and Hot Topic. And I specifically remember these coming out. This was my first dive back into Tamagotchi as an adult because I was literally like 19. And these devices are so cute and fun. A lot of people say they're hard to see because of the shadowing, but I personally think that makes them easier. At the time, I want to say at that same time that they were releasing like the 4U and the color in Japan. So this was like a way to give us a little taste of that because I swear America didn't have technology as far along. See, it's kind of hard to see, but the rooms on here are so unique. When you feed it, there is a unique room even. I hope they're hungry. Dang it. Let's hope they can eat a snack. And also, if you can see, they just look fancier. Yeah, so there's like a whole kitchen. It's better when you eat the full food. It's different, but... So there is that. There is the connection aspect, the making friends, because as you know, in the 2010s, it was getting big to be in like virtual world type games and texting. So there is a BFF bump exchange visit bumps. You could like bump the Tamas. I never had any friends who played, so I ended up getting one from Hot Topic and one from Toys R Us, and my friends thought I was goofy at the time, but here I am still playing them. I have turned these on about once a year since because again, I do think they're very fun, very replayable. The cool thing that makes them replayable, it's hard to see in this lighting, but I will try to get to it, is you collect items. So you actually collect jewelry on the game. So right now I have collected 28 out of 60. So let's see. So yeah, I have the Crown of Stars. And you actually don't wear these on here like the newer Tamas. They're just kind of collectible items. But it does make it replayable. And I think a couple of the items you actually can't even get on each device. I think you can only get a certain amount of items. So that is the one thing that people don't like about it, is it says out of 60 or whatever, but you actually can't get all 60. But I thought the memory was really cute. I think the memory must be like who I've met or what Tamagotchis I've had on here. But like I said, they looked really fancy because this was coming from a Tamago and coming from a connection. And also, the other thing was, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I remember on the Tamago, you could actually play... Wow. Psst, psst, psst. I remember on the Tamago, you could actually play online and get codes, and I used to have a ton of codes written down, and I'm really hoping that I find that notebook someday. Like childhood me was like, randomly write this in here and keep this, and that I open it up one day like, oh, I'm so glad I kept this because I have all the codes. Because I remember writing down the codes for the Tamago from the internet, but this one, as you can see, you can go places You can play a game. I'm not going to, but there's also a park. This was like the first time you were leaving your home and that your home was a home. It wasn't just like a screen with a bouncing guy on it. So these were really cool, honestly. If you can, for a decent price, I would get two so you can do the connection and get more of the items. I think they're really cute. I think if you've been around Tamagotchi since the beginning, you definitely need to see these. I am so happy I got them. Again, I got them upon release. I did look up these shells because I was curious about which came from where, and I actually don't remember that part, but I do remember buying one from Hot Topic and one from Toys R Us, like specifically making the trip. And the Toys R Us is now like a paint shop or something in town. It's really sad, but it was weird because it was nothing for the longest time. It was just nothing, and you could just see the remnants of Toys R Us, where the logo used to be, basically. Anyways, tangent aside, I had to go make the trip when I was like 19 to get these, and my friends were making fun of me. They definitely didn't play, but here I am still playing. And yeah, they both have the same room. They both look virtually the same, but you can collect different things. You can connect on them. And as I said before, I didn't have anyone that ever like was into Tamas with me. So I have two. I'm really happy to have two. As I said with the On before, I wish I would have bought a different one so that I could pair. And I mean, these aren't as extravagant as the On, but this was going in that direction without being color. And now I want to show the booklet a little bit because since it's such an old Tamagotchi, like 11 years old, is pretty old now for a device like this. I can't believe I still have the booklets, and I'd like to take a look because it was really cool when you got them. You could actually kind of open it and look at the device and then kind of see what it did. And this is exactly what the screen looks like. And you could type out little text to your friends. Like, I wish that I would have had friends that played this, but I wasn't a kid, I was an adult, but I still think it would have been really cool, very 2010s era. But yeah, you could see it in this little peek. I wish I still had one in a box, but that one's really pretty. I wish I had that one. But yeah, that's the box that they came in. And there was a website, it looks like, and an app, so that's super cool. Very early stages of that type of stuff. And like I said, I think the Tamago or the Tamago had a website. This is the booklet that it came with, and I don't think these are instructions. So I did want to show it because there's all these really cool Tamagotchi items in there. Like, every single one of us who plays Tamagotchi needs those, I'm sure. Shows all the different devices, which I have this one and this one, both from the second wave. So I guess I probably didn't find out about them right away because social media was a little different than it is now in 2013. Yeah, little friendship map, which I don't even know what this exactly means, but it's super cute. Super happy to have that. I probably should frame this. That is really cool. Again, here's the different devices that there were. I really like this one. Next, I want to talk about the Tamago, which came out when I was like 16, and I still clearly was into Tamagotchis. It had been years since I had played one, probably at least like 6 years, like since I was like 10, 11, or 12 maybe-ish. I am really sad to find out that I just put batteries in here and it wasn't working. I don't know if it's because they're new rechargeable batteries. I will try some other ones later. I was kind of excited to check it out. I honestly don't really remember much about it except that you could go online, and I used to write down codes. There used to be an online website and you could get codes for your Tamagotchi and then use them for items or for food. And then also there was different slide-on cartridges, and these hooked on. And I think they each came with one in a different background, or maybe I bought this separately. But I think mine came with this, honestly. But they each did something, like added a game and a shop, or a game and an item. I think it was a game and a shop, I want to say, if I remember correctly. Super sad to find out that my batteries don't work, but it is really cool. It is like a desk pet. I think that these might go for a lot now. Honestly, I'm not sure. And like I said, I don't know if they're worth it because I don't honestly remember the gameplay. I would probably say no, because the majority of the big deal with this one was virtual worlds going online at the time, like Imbu and RuneScape and all these Neopets and stuff were huge. So, Tamagotchi had to jump on the bandwagon. I was into all those virtual worlds and all those games I used to come home and play right when I got home, and Club Penguin and stuff, that this gave you a little taste of that with Tamagotchi, and I absolutely remember loving it at the time. But now I would say it probably is comparable to a connection, because I think you can connect. I think there's games and items. It would be cool if you had multiple of these. And I was thinking of ordering some. I actually saw a pack online. And I'm really glad I didn't, because super sad to find out that my batteries don't work. It looks like I had gotten corroded at some point, but it's not corroded inside. And I do remember playing like in the last 5 years, but maybe I can figure something out. If anybody knows anything about anything, comment down below. Otherwise, that is the first Tamagotchi that I have still in my collection. The earliest Tamagotchi I have in my collection, 2010. So basically, I've been now saying that my collection started in 2010 because this has continued since then. I probably will keep this for that factor, but I wish I had my other Tamagotchis that I grew up with. I didn't have a ton. I only had a few, like no more than one of each type, and I don't even think I had every type of Tamagotchi that came out. I remember maybe having like 2. And when the batteries were done, my parents didn't think like, oh, we should replace the batteries. We just didn't. Maybe they were annoyed with them. I don't know. Maybe it was like too stressful for me. Who knows? But I remember being really into them. And I remember me and my stepsister at the time when I was like 11, 12, like hitting middle school, we would play the connections and have so much fun. And that was probably around like 2003, 2004 era. So I have a lot of amazing memories with Tamagotchi, and I'm so glad that I still have this early device, even though, not working right now. Really sad I can't show you guys, but just imagine it on. This is probably the only device that has yellowed or anything has happened to, because it's traveled a long ways and a long time with me. But this isn't the earliest virtual pet that I own, so I did want to give you guys a little taste of the first few virtual pets that I did keep. Again, maybe my initial Tamagotchis will turn up someday, but I think that once the batteries were done, it was the kind of toy that my parents kind of told me it was done, So let's look at those other virtual pets. The second to last thing I want to show you guys is the Neopets, these little egg. They were like these, I don't know if it has a name, these egg pets. It says it came out in 2003. And I also used to have a Cougar one, and I used to have a big one like this that was cloud themed. And I really wish I kept that one, because these are really hard to find online, and they're usually expensive and not working and missing pieces. But these were so cool. If you played Neopets, And they're very detailed. They're almost like Polly Pocket level. But there was these 3 different animals, different Neopets, and you would put them in a slot, and it would unlock that pet on the screen doing whatever. Like, one of these would be a game, one would be a shop, one would be their house, and you could play them together. And also, I think there was like a crossover. If you had the other pets and you put them on there, it would show them on the screen. Like, I remember having the Cougar one, which was a tiger, so you could put him on here too, and it would show him on the screen. I might try to put batteries in these again. I think something happened where I left the batteries in too long in this too, really sadly. The last time I tried to put batteries on, the screen just kept restarting. and it wouldn't actually let you play, so that's really sad. But it is a very old device, over 20 years old, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's kind of just like super nostalgic Polly Pocket looking vibe at this point. But the cloud one was way prettier. I don't remember the names of the cities or the town, but this was really nostalgic to me. I will never get rid of this. This isn't necessarily my colors, but it does look super Neopetsy nostalgic, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. This is something I had as a kid. This is something I would have gotten when I was like 11 years old. I don't remember what they looked like in box. I do not remember the story behind these, but like I said, I had 3 of them, so I want to say I probably begged for these or got them on sale or got them as a gift. I probably asked for them. I wish I remembered more behind them. I remember playing the crap out of these. If you can tell, they're pretty beat up. Like, I played these like a DS and absolutely loved them. I would love to get my hands on another one. I don't know if I highly suggest them because they are pretty freaking rare at this point, and they almost give me the vibes like Pixel Chicks or something, where it's almost like more than a virtual pet. There was more to do than just feed it and whatnot. Like, this was a revelation in 2003. Very, very, very cool, nostalgic pet. I wish there was more like this. I wish I had my other ones to show you guys. I do still have the Cougar cards somewhere because they came with these like little trading cards. Oh, I should probably show you one of the guys up close. Again, I do not remember any of these names, but they're really, really cool. And I think that the foot just kind of told what pet it was. So when you put it in and it was like the middle foot, it would know that it was him. This was a really cool virtual pet, very nostalgic. Again, wish I could show you guys. Last but not least is the virtual pets, which if you know, you know, they are pretty nostalgic. There's not much you can do. You get to pick your own pet, and I am going to show you a newer age version of that because this, although very, very cute and designed by someone on Etsy, does the exact same thing, but you get to choose your pet, which as a kid, I got this very young, this one when I was young at Valley Fair with my dad, which is an amusement park in Minnesota, kind of near Shakopee, I want to say. And that was a nostalgic place that we like to go together, and there is a Thrillville where they did like a scary Valley Scare kind of vibe, and it would be like spooky Valley Fair. And I didn't love rides, I never have, because I get vertigo and heights issues and I kind of like freak out. But I loved the water park, and so anyways, tangent, long story aside, it's a very nostalgic thing, and I convinced my dad one year to buy me this, and it was like $3. It was like a very cheap virtual pet, and I played the crap out of it, even though there's not much you can do. Again, I want to show you this because it does virtually the same thing, but there's all these different pets. So you can imagine being like an 8-9-year-old just doing this all day, like, oh my gosh, I have a bat now. Now I have a duck. And on here, if you keep scrolling on the new one, there is like some Sanrio kind of vibes. And I meant to show this earlier because this is a newer device. Oh, there's Patrick. It's a newer device I did get, but it doesn't really do much. And if you press the wrong button, you accidentally restart. So really, it's just for looks. It's just for nostalgia. But I do click it on every so often because it is an exact replica of this, but with more characters. And so I'm really glad I found this in a box, and I don't even know if it still works. I would love to try it someday. It would be super nostalgic, but this is the earliest virtual pet that I have. I probably got this in 2000 or 2001, and I'm super glad that I've kept it all these years and still have it. As you can see, I took very good care of my toys, a few brats and toys and stuff that I find and kept. I took very good care of and was very super serial about. So yeah, these are the ending of my collection, and now I want to show you guys them all together. But I super appreciate each and every one of you for watching the video, and I really thank you guys for hitting 500 plus subscribers. It really means the world to me, each and every one of you guys that watches. And I hope you're having a great morning, day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world, and that you dare to be different and collect something that strikes up your fancy, your imagination, even if it is a little bit niche and out of the ordinary. Just do it because it's something you have always loved. And now let's see the full collection together.